So in my last video, I reread the Percy Jackson series, but that was actually like quite a few months ago. I just don't like editing stuff. What Heroes Olympus is, it's kind of like the spin-off series to Percy Jackson. This is basically like a new prophecy and new characters. These books I remember less of, even though I read them more recently. I remember the beginning of The Lost Hero, but nothing else. I remember the end of The Sun of Neptune. I remember majority of this. So I remember what happens to Percy and Annabeth in this book. And nothing. I think I blacked out when I read this book. From least favorite to favorite. Lost Hero. Least favorite. Then Blood of Olympus. Second least favorite. Son of Neptune is the middle. Then House of Hades. Then Mark of Athena. Right, I'm just gonna get started with my current thoughts about The Lost Hero. So, The Lost Hero, the first book. This is my least favorite book in the series currently. And I don't think that's gonna change. And it's because, so, in this book, we have three main characters, and we have Jason, we have Piper, and we have Leo. So, I'm just gonna go in because, oh my god. Okay, so Jason, I do not like Jason because his whole character is based off of the fact that he lost his memory. Like the first chapter. That's not a spoiler. The first page is like Jason woke up and doesn't know where he is. So like, it's like you can't get to know his character because like someone asks him, well, what's your favorite whatever, and he's like, I don't remember, and I'm like, well, that's not good. That's not development, you know. We have Piper, his girlfriend, but their entire relationship is based off lies. Basically, her memories were messed with to make her think that her and Jason were dating when they weren't. So they're not actually dating, but she still likes him for some reason. Honestly, the only good part of this book, we have Leo. Amazing character. Hilarious. Self-deprecating humor. Yes, please. I love it. And he has actual trauma. Like, Piper, I don't care that you're having bad dreams. Leo thought that he killed his mom for like his entire childhood. He's like my probably second favorite character, maybe, after Nico, of course. Nico's not even in this book. Negative points. This book is 553 pages. Oh no. Fun fact, I read The Son of Neptune in 2 days because I read the first probably like 100 pages in a day, and then I read like the other 400 in a night. I stayed up. I read this was one like before Corona, like during school. It was a school night. I stayed up. I read that in a night. So like tonight I read through the part that like I knew pretty well. Like I knew what was going on. So it's probably gonna take me a little longer to read the like next 2/3 of it because I don't remember it that much. So I'm gonna be like focusing in more, you know. Anyway, that's all for today. Okay, I have a few updates. I'm so excited. Okay, first of all, I made a fort because I have trouble like focusing when I'm just reading in my room because I start like looking at stuff and then I do something else. So now I'm so focused. I'm so excited right now. I bought the Shadow and Bone trilogy and it just arrived today. I'm so excited to read it. Oh my god. Hello guys, gals, and non-binary pals. So I'm back. I'm this far through the book. So like halfway, perhaps, maybe. Hi, so it's day 4, next day, and I have 200 pages left. I'm about to start reading. I don't think I'm gonna finish it today, but you know, we'll see. The rest of the books I'm gonna read much faster than I'm reading this one, just because this book, it's a good book. It's just like, it's so long and there's not a lot happening, and I really do not care about Piper or Jason's character. It's really just Leo that's getting me through this book, but the next books are much better than this one, but this is still a good book, you know. Anyway, I'm gonna read. Oh my god. Okay, so it's been like an hour or so since I started reading. I have like 150 pages left, and I completely forgot about Melly. Oh my gosh, she's a cloud nymph, yeah. And she ends up like marrying and having a kid with Hedge, and I completely forgot. Oh my god, I'm done. Oh, finally. Okay, so I just read for like 3 hours anyway. So I'm gonna give a little like final thoughts on the book before I go on to Son of Neptune. Okay, my like opinion on the book didn't change that much. I still don't. It's still like my least favorite book. It's not awful. It's just definitely not the best. Definitely. Because, like, I really can't with Jason and Piper. I can't. So this book, if you're reading Heroes of Olympus first, this book is interesting because it's like introducing you to this whole world. But since I've obviously already read Percy Jackson, I already know everything about the like demigod world. I know about Hera. I know about Camp Half-Blood. I know about Percy Jackson. You know, so it's like it's not new stuff to me. So anyway, look at all those tabs. Yes. Okay, I'm just gonna do my little like introduction for Son of Neptune now. So I really love this book. I love it so much because, okay, so in this book, it's kind of like, really similar to The Lost Hero, because in The Lost Hero, it's Jason, Piper, and Leo going on their quest with, like, the Camp Half-Blood, but in this book, it's Percy, Hazel, and Frank going on their quest with, like, Camp Jupiter, so it's kind of similar. They're both going on quests, but first of all, this book has Nico in it, which is just like automatic points. Because Nico, oh my god, it's amazing. Nico pretends to not know Percy. Oh my god. And Nico like goes between the camps. I love Nico so much. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh, so my main issue with Lost Hero is Jason and Piper. I've said this many times. Leo's great, but Jason and Piper, not it. In this book, not only do we have Percy, who is like just amazing, we also have Hazel and Frank, who they're new characters in this series, but oh my god, they're amazing. I love Hazel and Frank. I love them because Hazel, okay, so Hazel's 13. She's 13. Like, oh my god, she's 13! And she's like the most powerful demigod ever. Well, not, that's a little over exaggeration, but she's so powerful. And her backstory is crazy, like insane. And then Frank, oh my god, I could talk about Frank for hours. It's just, he's so cute. Hazel and Frank end up together, and it sounds a little weird because Hazel is 13 and Frank's 16, but it's just a number, you know. It's a little weird, but they're so cute together. They're so cute. I'm gonna find a fan art of Hazel and Frank. I'll literally have this on my wall. Putting on flower crowns. Oh my god. Oh no, I just remembered Son of Neptune has Octavian. Literally worst character ever. Anyway. I'm gonna cry. It's a Hazel kissing Leo on the cheek and he goes, what is he saying? Hazel isn't Frank that way. I hate that. Disgusting. I don't remember the last time I like updated you, but I have been reading The Son of Neptune. I'm on page like 105, I think, and yeah, I have my tabs. Can't really see them. There you go. Yep, there we go. So I'm like, what, like 5th through the book. So yeah, I'm gonna read a little bit more for like 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna be done for the night. Maybe I might read later, but I don't know. Hi. Okay, so it's the next day. I've read like 30 pages today, so I'm gonna read a little more right now, but I do have to go to bed kind of early because I have to get up early tomorrow. But Okay, so I'm halfway done. Right, my thumb is getting into the good part, so I'm probably gonna read the rest of this like pretty quick. I love this book. Okay, it's almost midnight. I'm reading again, and like it's crazy the amount of times in this book that like people, just like random people, the three come across on their quest that call Frank and Hazel a couple like before they're dating, and they're just like, we're not dating, and like it's just so crazy that it happens more than once. Like what? Like it's Frank's grandma, it's Phineas, like what the heck? I mean, like I love it, like I live for that, but yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna read now. Okay, so I'm that far through the book and I have 150 pages left, so I'm gonna finish tomorrow. Yeah, I look crazy. 1 a.m. and I'm gonna finish the book now, so yeah. Oh wait, it doesn't have the, so I finished the Son of Neptune last night. I still love this book. I remembered a good amount of the plot, like, yeah, like it was just kind of like little details. Like for me, when I'm reading like Percy Jackson books in particular, I like kind of skim over like the big battles at the end. So like I didn't remember much of that, and that's for like all the books. Like the only book that I really remember the big battle is The Last Olympian, because I know that book inside and out. It's like my favorite book ever. But this book, I didn't remember much of like what happened in Alaska, but now I remember. So my thoughts didn't really change about the book that much. I still like, it's good, but it still only has 3 of the characters and it doesn't have Leo or Annabeth. This other books in the series are better. So kind of where this book, oh my god, I'm having a brain aneurysm. I am very glad that I didn't read these books until like recently, because I could not, like, if I read this book right when it came out in like what, 2013? 2011. This came out in 2011. Whoa. Okay. Whoa. Okay. So much has happened to me. Okay. If I read this when it came out in 2011, when I was 4 years old. Basically at the end of this book is when like they're about to reunite with, like, Percy and Annabeth are about to reunite, and the 7 are about to like come together because they're from the 2 different camps, and like Jason goes back to Camp Jupiter and stuff like that. So this literally ends with Percy saying, let's go meet them, and then ends. And I'm like, I would have died. I would have, like, oh my god. In the next book there's like a cliffhanger. I would have also died if I read that right when it came out, because like, oh my god. Anyway, so this book was great. Now we get to start the mark with Tina. I'm super excited. I love this book. This is the only book in the Heroes of Olympus series that I've already reread. So I've already read it twice, but I'm gonna reread it again. So the reason I love Market with Tina so much is because it's the first book where like the 7 are like together in the same spot, and they're on the battle, what's it called, the Argo too. So it's like you get to see these different people, like, because they go on like little mini quests. So like you get to see at one point, oh my god, Hazel and Leo dead, Piper, Annabeth, and Hazel go on a little thing, and then Piper and Jason go on a thing. Like I've read the first half of this recently, like probably in like June, so I remember what happens then, but I'm still gonna reread it because it's so good. But then at the end, Annabeth goes on her own quest, and I don't really remember what happens at that part. So yeah, I remember she like breaks her leg. No, she like sprains her ankle or something. And then I remember how she like escapes, and then I remember the cliffhanger, literally cliffhanger. Oh my god, oh my gosh. And then Percy and Jason try to kill each other. But it says AJR New Theater. It's the worst thing I've ever done in my life. Rainbow, so I tried to do a rainbow, and then it's Miracle Musical in Japanese. It's kind of like not cute. The little face. I've talked about Leo like 20 times in this video, but I love him so much, so I drew him. Jason's character is based off of the fact that he's like lost his memory, and I was thinking, well, Percy lost his memory too. So I'm thinking like I don't like if I didn't read the Percy Jackson series and I don't know anything about Percy Jackson, like he's funny though, like he has humor, and Jason's just not funny. Like he's not. So that's not why. I'm trying to do this with my headphones still like tied up. Okay, so I just read like 100 pages of the Mark of Athena, and I'm done for right now. I might read later. Okay, so it's very late. It's like 2 a.m. So today I read well actually I was listening to the audiobook while I was drawing, so I listened to like 150 pages. So I'm like halfway through currently, and I'm gonna read a little bit right now in the wee hours of the night. So yeah, I love this book so much. It's just like I love just seeing all the different like people interact, and I just like seeing all of them together. Cause like this is the only book where they're all like really together for most of it. Because in Blood of Olympus they're not really together for most of it, and here in House of Hades they're in like 2 different places. So this book is just like it's very good, and then these are my tabs. So yeah, I have a little like drama going on between Leo, Frank, and Hazel. Very, very good. Now on day 11, I'm this far through the book. I got that left. I've really been okay. I've really been trying to figure out why I don't like Jason. I'm gonna turn this off. Oh, okay, that's not much better, but it's fine. Yeah, so I was listening to my Percy Jackson podcast today, and B, who they're one of the like people on the podcast, they were talking about it because they're at the beginning of The Lost Hero in the podcast right now. They were like, wait, what did they say? Oh, it's because Jason said something. It was like, I'm glad we didn't have the fancy Aphrodite makeup on anymore because I like her better like this. And they went off about it, and I was like, yes, because I just really dislike him in that scene. When these books came out, I think people were like hating on Jason. This is my theory. I think people were hating on Jason in the first 3 books, and then Rick was like, in the 4th book, he gave Jason like this thing with this plot with Nico to make him more of a likable character, and like it kind of worked for some of the people, but like I don't buy it. I have 100 pages left of the book. That much. And yeah, it's 10 o'clock exactly. Wow. Oh, I just want to talk about how amazing Nico is. I love him. Nico willingly went into Tartarus, willingly, to try to find the doors of death. And he ended up getting kidnapped, but he went into Tartarus willingly. Like, come on. So, side note, I love Coach Edge. Like, he's kind of like comic relief in this book. He doesn't really serve that much to the plot, but he's basically a satyr, and he's just taking care of them. He's like their chaperone, but he's always like trying to kill stuff, and he seems super goofy, and he acts like he doesn't care about them that much. Like, if they die, they die. He's just like, he's got other things on his mind, like, I don't know, just like random stuff, but like, he loves the kids. Like, he's like, there are a few moments in the books where he just becomes like dad mode. Like, it's so, I love it. Okay, I just finished The Mark of Athena. So in this video, I've said this like 1,000 times, but I'm not doing spoilers because I know Julia's watching this, and I don't want to spoil it, you know. And like the biggest spoiler of the series happens right at the end of this book. It's a cliffhanger. The first time I read it, I cried because I was like confused, because I was like, wait, what? Because I literally thought they died, but they didn't die. Just good. By they, I mean Annabeth and Percy. They didn't die. They just... Never mind. The part where Annabeth and Frank talk. I love Annabeth and I love Frank, and I love Frank so much. I just like this book. Anyway, Next, oh god, I just knocked everything over on my bookshelf. This is The House of Hades. How long is this book? Oh, it's longer than Mark of Athena. I can't do this. Mark of Athena was like 600 pages. This is longer because it's like only a few pages longer, but it's like bigger. I don't know what point of view House of Hades is in. Ew, there's Jason. I just flipped a random page and it was Jason. I have no time for a Jason point of view. So it's Hazel, Annabeth, Frank, Percy. Wait. There's 7 point of views. Maybe this is why everyone loves this book. So this book is in Percy, Annabeth, Jason, Piper, Leo, Hazel, and Frank's point of view. That's a little crazy. Okay, I do remember something. So first of all, this book, it seems like I cry at books a lot. I cried really hard at the end of this book. This book, Leo and Calypso meet. So much happened. The things I remember from this book. I remember the majority of what happens to Percy and Annabeth. They fall, and then they're in a river, and then they go through, they meet Kelly from book 4 of Percy, book 4 of Percy Jackson's Olympians. They go to, they meet Bob the Titan and Small Bob, his pet cat. They go to they go to the giant's house. I'm spoiling the whole book. You have to like hold the button down to escape, and then Percy's like, okay, you go up and hold the button, but like the person who holds the button has to like stay down there. And Annabeth's like, no, I'm not leaving without you. And then they're like, and then Bob's like, I'll do it. And they're like, Bob, we're not leaving you, but he sacrifices himself for them. Stuff I couldn't tell you what happens to the rest of them. The only part I remember other than that is Leo and Calypso. I don't remember how Leo gets to Calypso's island in the first place, but it's amazing. But they're in Croatia, and they find Cupid. And they're like, hi. And then Cupid's like, Nico, tell Jason your secrets. And then Jason's like, leave him alone. And he goes like, go away. He erases the dead and stuff. And then, like all these images go with, like missed images with Percy and Nico, like when they first met. And Nico's like, oh my god, you're so cool. Like before he was all emo. And then Nico goes, I had a crush on Percy, that's the big secret. And then, Nikki goes, if the others ever found out, and then Jason goes, if the others found out, you would have more people supporting you, or something like that. And Jason is basically like, if you want to talk about it, and he goes like, go away. Day 1 of reading The House of Hades. I am currently on page 175. I think I'm gonna go to 200 and then like stop. But I was crying because of Bob. I love Bob. I love Bob. Now I'm reading like the part Bob has before he So yesterday I said that I'm a Coachette Stan, and like yes, that still is accurate, and I forgot about this whole thing with Melly. Her and Coachette like fell in love or whatever, and he finds out that Melly's pregnant like during it. I'm getting like emotional because he doesn't know if he's gonna survive the mission. He's like, this is great that you're pregnant, but like I might die. It's next day. I finished my reading, and look how far I got. Like, that's what I need to read. I read a lot more than I thought I was gonna read today. I read 200 pages today. At this rate, I'm gonna be finishing this book tomorrow. So I'm gonna be reading, this book is the longest in the series, and if I finish this tomorrow, then I'm gonna be reading this the fastest. The middle section that I read today, the 200 pages I read today, had like all the good stuff. It had Nico's coming out scene, which was like, I cried. It was rough. Leo and Calypso. River Styx is like, it's kind of like an unbreakable vow from Harry Potter, but it's like, if you don't keep this oath, you'll probably die. This girl named Clarice from the first series, who's a child of Aries, and she's like such an icon. I love her. I completely forgot that it says like Clarice was the first person that Cushedge like took to camp, which I was like, yes. So I'm like 40 pages from the end, and it's a little fun fact. So I'm a nerd. My favorite Greek myth is the story of like Daedalus and his whole situation, Daedalus and Icarus. And so I knew that he helped a woman. it's a crazy story. Basically, long story short, he helped a woman give birth to a half human, half bull, the Minotaur, that thing. And like, I knew that part of the myth, but I never knew that like the woman who he helped, like, she's in the book, which is fun. That's cool. Hi, okay, so I'm done. I read that so fast. Oh my god. 3 days. This is almost 600 pages, and I read it in 3 days. Kind of what happened in this book, and like what I gained from the reread, is I now know what happened to the rest of the 7 who weren't Percy and Annabeth in the book, which is great. They just kind of like went on, did their thing above ground. Oh, I shouldn't say that. They just did their thing. This is the only book ever that has a Nico POV in it. So that's great, but it's also the shortest book, which is kind of weird since it's the last one in the series. We get Nico and Raina's friendship in this book, which is amazing because Nico and Raina are both like super serious people, and I just love that they're like friends, you know. Will is in this book. Will ends up being Nico's boyfriend, which is fun. This is like the book where they start talking, you know. Look like a mess right now, but it's the first day of Blood of Olympus. It starts off very bad, and it's not like, I really just hate reading from Jason's POV because it's just boring. Like, I can't get a grasp on his personality. Like, he's not that funny. He's like, anyway, bye. Oh, I also just I just yelled at some people on Snapchat for being racist. I'm getting a British flag. I'm 2/3 of the way through the book, and yeah, that's, so far it's definitely not like my favorite book like in the series, but you know, I just love the Nico chapters. I love them. Leo got the physician's cure, which is a big thing at the end, because without it Leo would have died, which would be awful, terrible, bad. I'm very excited. I did it. Wow. Okay, first look at that. That is gorgeous. Okay, so it's the Heroes of Olympus books and the Percy Jackson books, all with the tab that I did. Nico shadow traveled to Camp Half-Blood and ran into Will Solas, his boyfriend. He shows up, and basically there's a big battle at Camp Half-Blood between the Greeks and the Romans, and then Raina shows up with the Athena Parthenos, and she's like, guys, we have bigger threats. So she's like, we need to come together and fight the monsters. While this is happening, the rest of the 7 are off in Greece. Guys, oh, that gave me life. We are probably still rank Son of Neptune above Blood of Olympus, which is funny to me because The Last Olympian, which is the last book in the Percy Jackson series, is like my favorite book ever. Like, I have it right here. I could recite this book from beginning to end, no problem. Like, literally, I listen to this audiobook daily. Like, I just listen to it to, like, fall asleep or whatever. Like, I love this book. It's so good. So I think it would still be the same rating. I just remember the books better now. So, that's it for this video.